Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Malinga Sise of Urban Harvest Organic Farm. For all of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel, I am so grateful. And for those who are still new, please kindly consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell so that you never miss out any upload. Share this video, comment in the comment section down below, and I'll be so grateful. Today I'm super excited, and I want to say thank you to all of you who have been with me from the very first day when we brought our chicks up to now that we are going to bring them out. So today we are bringing out the birds, and I wanted to show you a few things, but I just want you to know that the birds are very active. The birds are still feeding well. They have not got any disease. They are very fine. So as we bring the birds out, we are now going to start aggressively taking care of this bird so that at least not exceeding 18 weeks should find when our birds have started laying eggs. And I also want to show you that now that the birds are grown, I decided to buy more drinkers. You can see that right here. I just bought new drinkers to make sure that our birds will have enough drinking water. And because of this activity, we are going to give these birds I've added there, I have blended ginger here, right here. Okay, and that is what we are going to give to the birds. Actually, I added there some few chili peppers. Just these birds are going to be so stressed today since it is their first time to come to the new place. So I want to show you how smart our farm is currently, because I really want I've been telling you that I want a farm that is this time far different from what we had before. So there is no going to be entering inside this farm without disinfecting your feet here. This is what we call biosecurity. Actually, even if you can see here, there is a gate here. You cannot enter here just like that. I've managed to fence this area in a way that even when our birds get out, at least they will be safe. They will not get out of this area. Okay, I already showed you the disinfectant that I'm still going to be using. This is the one. I think I've shown you this several times. And then, so whoever wants to enter inside the farm, you will not cross without disinfecting your feet right here. So I wanted us to see inside the farm. We started cleaning this farm. Today is I think 2 days ago. I've been showing you everything. Okay, so the whole of yesterday I was disinfecting this place. Okay, we did a lot of disinfection. We disinfect the whole walls. Actually, I started doing that early. Okay, so whenever you're going to bring your birds in a new house, make sure you arrange it perfectly well. You can see I have put the coffee ask. Actually, the birds were supposed to come out yesterday, but the coffee ask were not enough, so we had to first wait. But honestly, the coffee ask are really very expensive. A bag of coffee ask like this goes for 14,000 Ugandan shillings, of which the wood shavings are far cheaper compared to this coffee ask. So that is why, if you can see, I managed to put here 25 bags. Okay, I've so far put 22 bags. So these 3 bags we are going to clean where the brooder has been, and we shall also pour it there. So make sure that when you're bringing your chicks out, you have to clean the place thoroughly well, okay, to avoid diseases. So this time around, I'm very strict with this one. Actually, if there are a flock of birds that I've been very strict with, is this particular flock, even with the measuring of the feeds. So from week 5, they're taking 24.5 kilograms of feeds, actually 0.55. So I am making sure that I am measuring the feeds. But I want to be honest, me previously, I used to start measuring feeds when these birds are around 15 weeks. When they are still young, I used to just give them feeds anyhow, just like most of you do. But this time with these birds, I'm really very strict. I am making sure that I do everything right. So today, what we are going to do, I wanted us to count the birds, but I'm thinking that will not be possible. Okay, the counting will be done during the baking, because during the baking also we shall do counting of the birds. So what we are going to do right now, we are going to open the brooder, allow the birds to come out. I wanted to actually weigh like 10 birds to confirm, because at this point they should be between 220 grams to 300 grams. So that is what I wanted us to do. At least we shall sample like 10 birds, and then another thing that we are going to do, we shall be tying the feeders up here and the drinkers. So I think allow me do that, then I'll get back to you. See you right back. Guys, we have a very big problem. I entered inside our brooder and I met this bird when it was already dead. And we have like 10 birds which have this. This is what they call cannibalism. Okay? This is what they call cannibalism. And the challenge that I have with these chicks is that their beaks were not big, but if you remember the previous birds, after like 2 weeks, their beaks started falling off. At least for them, they were debeaked. Okay? But with these birds, they were not debeaked at all. So this is now what is taking place inside the brooder. Okay, this is what is taking place, and this is really very, very bad. Cannibalism is very bad in poultry farming. Now we have lost this bird, and this bird was a very heavy one. Okay, we have lost this bird, but see, just like I have said, I am seeing like 10 birds that their behind is being pecked on like this, and this is really not good. So now the only solution is to remove those birds and put them in isolation and make sure that at least they get healed. So this is now what is happening inside the brooder. This is really very, very bad. So, but we are going to talk about that in 2 details. So let me hurry up to remove these birds out of here. Okay, I think even we should now just open here, because I wanted us to first remove the feeders and bring out the birds one by actually. Even when we are not going to weigh them, because you can see the other one also, the back, this one, oh my god, so many birds. Okay, but we are going to discuss that in 2 details. Winnie, I think we shall just chase them out. I wanted us to first remove the feeders, hang them there, and then we later take them out. But that is not now going to be possible, because I'm seeing so many birds. Okay, so many birds. Oh my god, cannibalism is very, very bad. Oh my god, be careful, be careful. Eh? Wow. Since it is their first time, you know what? Winnie, you hold this. Ma. Have to be gentle. Okay, why I don't want to open here? Because I first want to remove all this litter before I open here. I want to first remove the litter from here. Then this is bad. Wow. We need it more. So guys, finally, I'm done setting our chicken house. This is how I want it to be. I want the feeders to be at the walls like that, because when the birds start laying eggs, I do not want us to be keeping on coming inside here to put the feeds. We shall just be opening those windows and we pour the feeds inside the feeders there. So that is why I've decided to arrange the feeders like this. So if you can see inside the chicken house round, it has the feeders. Because I want them to get used that this is how they will be feeding for the rest of their lives, as they are here. And the drinkers, actually I will add more drinkers. Currently we have 15 drinkers inside here, but according to the number of our birds, I'm going to add more drinkers. We shall have around 22 drinkers right inside here, so that in the morning the person working here can be able to put all the water at once in the morning, and maybe if there is adding more, we add it late in the evening. Okay, because if you have few drinkers, that affects the performance also, because the water gets done very fast, and sometimes when the workers some workers are lazy, you find that the birds will stay almost half day without the drinking water. But it is very easy for someone to put the water early morning. So if the drinkers are many, at least the water can take them for some good time. And you can see our chicken house is large enough for these birds. We have 680 currently, because now we've lost one due to the cannibalism. And I told you that we have like 10 more birds that were packed on. So I'm going to make sure that we are going to put ash. We are going to put ash mixed with salt. It is actually right here. It's the one I'm going to put on the wounds. This will help a lot. I've used it before. Even for the animals, you can just mix the ash with the salt and you put it on the wounds. So, finally, this is where our birds are going to spend the rest of their time. The only part which is remaining is where our brooder was. We are not going to work on it right now, because we are first going for lunch. But after lunch, we are going to come here, remove all the litter here, okay? Make sure that the litter that the birds have been having in the brooder, you do not carry it on to the main chicken house. So we are going to remove this litter. We shall remove all the polythene and the curtains, and then we shall put new coffee ask here. Then we shall open it for them. But honestly, the birds are doing well, except maybe the issue of the cannibalism, of which I will make sure that I eradicate it immediately. It should not continue. Okay, so we are going to discuss more about this cannibalism in the next video. And but for today, okay, before that, in the drinking water, we have added there ginger and some chili peppers. We've just put few chili peppers and ginger. Remember, this is the first time the birds are taking on the chili peppers. It is their first time. But for the ginger, we have given them so many times. And you can see in the drinkers, we've not put water full, simply because the drinkers are very many, and you see the birds are still young. So if we fill up the drinkers, chances are high that they will not finish the water, probably up to the next day. And of which we all know that every morning we are supposed to clean the drinkers and put in the new fresh water. That is what we are supposed to do. So that is why I didn't fill up the drinkers. But otherwise, we are also going to buy new feeders, okay? But this time I do not want to use the wooden feeders. I don't want to use the wooden feeders, but we are going to buy new feeders. I think by tomorrow or weekend, we shall have the feeders right here. Because the problem that I have with these feeders is that these birds can feed on the feeds which are there. I think I showed you this before. And then the feeds that are inside here fail to get out. So you find that the birds are without feeds, and yet inside is filled up with the feeds, but it cannot come out simply because this part is very, very small. This part is very, very small. So these feeders are only good when these birds are still using the pellets. But if you've started mixing the mash like that, it is hard. You have to keep coming to push the feeds down, which is sometimes become very, very active, especially for the farmers who are very, very busy. Okay, so those are the few things that we are going to do here. But otherwise, the coffee ask which I put, I say it is enough for the birds. The birds are enjoying the whole thing. Everything is perfectly well. Now someone is going to ask me, Alinga, why is that big drum here? Okay, this drum is here because, guys, the roof is leaking. This part of the roof, just right there, if you see, the person who put the iron sheet, I think, okay, I don't know whether this problem came the time when they are doing wiring. They were overheating here and disorganized this part. Honestly, I can't tell. But when it is raining, water pours, a lot of water pours from here. So I've decided to put the drum here so that when it rains, you can see even it was raining last evening. So that it can rain inside the drum instead of messing our chicken house. Simply because I do not want now anyone to come and climb up on the roof or start doing some renovation here. It is also very dangerous to do renovations when the birds are here. They can end up swallowing those tiny nails, and you can end up losing so many birds. And as you know that we've lost so many birds before, so far now we've lost 34 birds plus the one that we lost just due to cannibalism. So we do not want to lose more birds, especially if we are successfully done with the brooding like this. So for today, that is all I had for you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for always coming back. Thank you so much for all your wonderful love and support. Please continue supporting the project by watching, by liking, by commenting, by sharing, by even joining the membership. And the membership you can join with any amount of money that your heart feels like. It is not by force, by the way. You're free to join or not to join. So see you next time. I love you all. Bye bye.